Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working on how to repair cracks in your carvings. So when I sell a carving to a customer, I let them know there's a big potential that it's going to crack. Now if you guys remember this piece, we carved it right before winter last year, so in the fall, and it's already got these nice wide big cracks going on. So this piece is dried out really well. This particular customer had a heated garage, and so we had talked about it, and I said, why don't you just keep it in there all winter? It'll dry out, and then come spring or early summer I'll come pick it up and I'll do the repairs. And so this is where we're at now. With a crack this size, this tells me this is pretty darn dry. This is dried out really well, being inside all winter with heat, and that's all right. This is to be expected. So if you're a beginner carver, let your customers know it's gonna crack. It's gonna happen. Like, it's wood. If it doesn't crack, you'd be happy to put one in there for them. Maybe don't say that, but this is where we're at. So I'm gonna go through and give you guys a process for repairing these cracks. When people place a custom order for me, normally what I let them know is, like, I'll do the first repair. If they can get the carving to me and they can pick it up when I'm done, I will repair it at my leisure when I have time. That's how I set it up. That's just how I do it. I figure people are spending a lot of money on pieces like this, on custom orders. I'm willing to fix them. Small, little carvings, stuff this size, is a little bit different. I'm not so willing to to do repairs because it's not worth it. I'm not making that money to do that. So here we have this large eagle, and I'm just kind of gonna go through and give you guys the process on how to fix a crack. So be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, turn on YouTube notifications so you guys don't miss any future uploads. And also, if you're a beginner carver, this will be on the beginner carvers playlist. It's all tutorials, walk you step by step how to chainsaw carve, and get you going in chasing that dream of sculpting with a chainsaw. So without further ado, let's get fixing this thing. All right guys, so the first thing you got to do is get yourself some wedges. So what I ended up doing is grabbing a piece I kind of had blocked out for a small bear. It's pretty dry. This piece has been cut for a few months. I draw on the wedge shape, and then take my saw and try to cut straight down, keeping these cuts, at an angle for a wedge, but not, all over. So you're trying to make your cut down straight, even though you're making a wedge shape. Hopefully that makes sense. So go through, get as many as you can out of a piece. Now you don't want them that wide, so right here, just split them in half while they're all still attached. This is like the easiest way to do this if you don't have a bandsaw. Then come through and detach everything. Once you're done with that, you're going to need to get some Gorilla Glue and a spray bottle with water. I'll have links to everything I'm using, guys, either in the shop tab or down in the description below. You guys shop through those. They help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. This is the glue I rely on, though, for fixing cracks and adding pieces onto carvings. This Gorilla Glue works great. Now the piece is dry, so we spray the crack down with the water. It's just water. There's nothing else in that spray bottle on the left, just water. And then I put a real liberal amount of Gorilla Glue in the crack. I want it to get in there, not worried about it making a mess. It's gonna make a mess. I do recommend some gloves, so disposable gloves, because that stuff gets on you, it doesn't come off easy. I use a knife if I need to. Piece needs to come down to more of a point in order to fit in the crack. Trim it down, do what you got to do. Wet the wedge with the spray bottle. That's the first wedge. Now working with smaller wedges is easier. That was a really big piece, but the one I'm using right now, if you use stuff that's anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inch wide to fill your cracks, it's a lot easier and you'll get a better fit. Now put a little bit of glue on the edge that's going to meet the edge of the existing wedge that's in there. So when this side and the side of the one that's already in place meet, they'll glue together, plus the glue that's in the crack. What I tend to do is kind of just tap these in by hand, and then once they're all kind of in place and lined up, I'll go through with a mallet or a hammer or the back edge of my hatchet and just sort of tap everything in just a little bit. You're not trying to hammer this stuff home. You're going to bust it apart if you do that. So just lightly tap, you know, to make sure everything is snug and not moving. Because if it's in there and it's loose, the glue is going to force your wedges out. The glue is going to force your sawdust out, and all the work you did, you're going to come back. It's going to be another big mess to deal with. So just a light tap. That's all it needs. Alright guys, now sometimes you'll have your wedges in here and they won't sit perfectly and you'll have gaps. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a gap between the wedge and the wood. So it doesn't get fully filled. What you're going to want to do is get some of that sawdust you just created from making your wedges or from carving, right? You got sawdust all over. Take some Gorilla Glue. This is why it's important to have disposable gloves. And I recommend like a high millimeter glove, something that's kind of thick. Like these, I think these are a 7 mil. Because this stuff, you get this on your hands, this stuff doesn't come off. It just doesn't. You're going to have it on there for a week or better at least. And it's just a big mess. For me, I don't want it all over my hands. So I wear the gloves. But you sit here, make a mess on something that you're willing to make a mess on, throw out, whatever. I try to do it on plastic. Sometimes you're able to like pop the piece off when it dries and reuse the plastic. Not always. So this is why disposable gloves, right? Mash this up into this nasty mixture. Sometimes smaller sawdust is a little bit better, right? Right here we got a lot of big chunks. But you're going to come back over here to that crack that doesn't have a wedge in it, or that won't fit, or is just left over a little crack because, you know, the wedge doesn't fill it. And pack that in there. I mean the absolute best that you can, because you don't want the glue to push this out and then you're carving just bubbly glue. If that's the case, the glue does not hold detail by itself, but the glue will hold some detail if there's sawdust mixed in it. So just keep that in mind, okay? So that's packed in that little corner right there where the wedge didn't fill. Now this side the wedge looks great, there's not a bunch of cracks, so we'll let it be, we'll let this dry. I'll get the rest of these done and then I'll show you what to do once you have all your wedges in. Alright guys, I got all my wedges, glue, and sawdust in the cracks that I'm going to repair on this piece. Things are starting to dry, they're starting to ooze out, make a mess. Alright, so if you don't want it all over everywhere else, drape something over spots. You know, don't plant it. It's going to get on the floor, it's going to get all over. It's messy. If you can, pack sawdust in any spots to help contain the glue. Now you got to let this set up. Sometimes it's 2, 3, 4 hours before you're good. I think the bottle might say 3 or 4 hours. So I got to let this dry. Real quick though, I'm not leaving, but real quick, I just want a big shout out to all my members. Thank you to everybody that supports this channel directly. Thank you to everyone who buys channel merch and through the links that I provide. You guys help support the work that I do and help in creating videos and updating equipment and things like that. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Channel's been growing in leaps and bounds lately, and it has been awesome to see. Now, if you're a new carver, you're just checking out one of my videos for the first time, I've got a whole playlist to walk you through step by step, cut for cut, your first carving and helping you step your game up. So be sure to check those out. And let's get to carving this. All right, so from this point on, most of the tools I'm going to be using, or I have used in the video, are off Amazon. Just trying out some different stuff. You guys want to get them, you can buy through the links. They'll be in the description. I'll try to have them through the store tab. Those just aren't Amazon links. They're from other stores. So usually the description will have a better link for you. Now, this is just the same logic chainsaw. You guys can use your regular chainsaw here. You can use your dime tip bar. What you're doing is removing the excess wedge material that you had sticking out, and then you're kind of reshaping, following the existing lines that you had. So you've already pre-carved this, you know, you already can see where the lines should meet up. You already know the feathering, you already know the look. And so you're just kind of going back through, recarving, reshaping. It's really nothing crazy here. You're just, again, recarving, reshaping, and doing your best to have it meet up to what you already had there. Now this is the DeWalt die grinder, cordless. Started using this recently. I do like this tool. It's pretty nice. I mean, I don't mind my corded tools, but this is great for like on-site work and when I'm doing shows and stuff like that. Nice to have. Don't have to carry that generator around. But here I'm using a 1/4 inch shaft, 1/2 inch green coarse burr from Sabertooth. I don't have a link for them. You got to go to sabertooth.com if you want to use those burrs. If I can find something similar on Amazon, again, I'll link it in the description. This has 3 speeds, so I put it on high for kind of carving, and then I'll turn the speed down if I'm sort of just doing a light sanding or shaping. But again, I'm going right through that crack and where the glue was and everything, and just reshaping it back to what it once was. This is the process, right? If you get sanding this away and carving away and you realize there's a big gap or a big crack, you didn't get glue or you didn't get sawdust in there, you're going to have to take the time, mash up some glue and sawdust, pack it in there really good, let that dry, come back, recarve. I mean, it's up to you on how fancy you're going to get on your repair. But you're already here, you're already making the mess, you might as well see it all the way through. And I guess I'm switching off to one of 2 Depstech rotary tools. These are battery powered, rechargeable rotary tools. As you guys can see, they work great with the 1/8 inch shaft burrs. Again, Sabertooth burr. These are called their eye cutter burrs. Really fine, detailed kind of burr. This particular tool is the gray and black one. This has quite a bit of power and works well for detail. Again, this is another Depstech tool, and the one you just saw in this one, I use these for detail work, fine work, wanting to get up under the feathers, giving them more detail. So use this guy for heavy lifting, use one or both of the other 2 for that more detailed stuff to have more control. You're not dealing with such a big, tool, and you're able to have a little more control of it just because it's a lighter, smaller unit for carving. So again, just reshaping here, guys, but we'll cut ahead to what to do when you're done reshaping. So I got carried away in my repair, and after shaping and sanding, I jumped right into paint. Normally what I recommend here is flap sand everything you just carved. Go through with the Sandiflex, flap sand, hit it all with the torch lightly, then sand again, and then do your light paint. For whatever reason, I just kind of like didn't film it before the paint there. And then here it is after I painted because I didn't do the lower. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. But sand, burn, sand, paint. And then go through, here's the torch process, right? Bringing that color back. Doing our best. Light burn. Once you're done with that, I mean, you're pretty much ready for a clear coat finish. Now, I'll get the question, well, what do I put on it for a finish? I don't know what to use. I always use the Helmsman, Minwax Helmsman. Currently, I can only get the acrylic in a gallon here in New York State. So that's what I've been buying. Put 2-3 coats on a bare piece, finished piece, another 2 or 3 coats. Yeah, guys, so here's that piece. Repairs are all done. This is the back side, right? But we had to repair this, which you guys didn't see a lot of, but that crack came straight through, so we did wedges on both sides with glue, freshened up the paint. Now I said they wanted me to do the bird black instead of brown, so I changed the feathering to black, so it does stand out quite a bit more with the base color. And come around here to the side we were working on the most, right, with the wedges we put in here all the way up, and we had wedged and re-glued the top. Fixed all that. So I gotta let all the paint dry and this will get some clear. Now if you guys want to use the stuff I was using today, I was using a lot of stuff that you can get right off Amazon, to be honest. And I was purposefully doing that in case anybody wanted to purchase those items. You can. I'll have them in the shop tab or down in the description through my Amazon links. And I'll have everything from clear coat, grinder, torch, grinders, saw, paint, all that kind of stuff. You guys want to buy through there, helps support the channel. I do appreciate it. Big shout out to all my members. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all. So you don't miss future uploads or live feeds when I'm chainsaw carving live. Hope you guys are having a great day. Check out some videos popping up. I'll see you guys later.